Yeah, so the Faustian bargain, generally understood as this deal that you make with the devil, your soul, in exchange for love and other obsessions. And that would be an accurate representation of the plot, the essence. But what makes Goethe's Faust a literary masterpiece? Well, I guess there are several, but some of them seem to fit better. For example, he was a devoted student of alchemy. From a very young age, he had this opportunity to develop his skills, to understand the intricacies of the performance arts industry, thus giving him this exceptional merit to be a great storyteller. And Faust was this project that he took his entire life to write. He put the final finishing touches to it just a few months before he died at the age of 82. This is his magnum opus, his gift to humanity. I bring this up because many of us, once we are aware of the plot, we sometimes tend to move on. And so to move on, we last left Faust and Mephisto at the camp of the peddling witch. She was displaying her wares, doing her pitch, and Faust was reminded of Marguerite and falling into this state of despair. Mephisto notices this and says, "You're behind the times, dear cousin. All of these things are in the past. She represents the past. Just leave it. Nothing good can come out of it." And then he distracts him with frolic, of course. And one of these distractions is these two witches, magical beings, in the form of two women. Here is how the lines go. "Here's a new dance. Come on, it's time we chose." Faust, dancing with the young one. "In a fair dream that once I dreamed, an apple tree appeared to me. On it, two pretty apples gleamed. They beckoned me. I climbed the tree." The fair one, in response, "You thought such apples very nice? Since Adam's fall in paradise, I'm happy to report to you, my little orchard bears them too." Here's quite a few references. Of course, the original sin, the expulsion, the drying up of the Garden of Eden, these trees, and the forbidden fruit is now available at these witches' orchards. But the more hilarious takeaway is, of course, the reference to apple and her breasts. Let's see what Mephisto says. Same lyrical pattern. "In a wild dream that once I dreamed, I saw a cloven tree, it seemed. It had a black almighty hole. Black as it was, it pleased my soul." The old one. Again, sexual innuendos. "A welcome to my leafy roof, the baron with the cloven hoof. I hope he's but a piston tall, to plug the mighty hole withal." And so there are several of these distractions, each of them brilliantly humorous. But every now and then, we find Faust falling into this despair, this guilt, until there's this scene where, in one of these apparitions, Faust sees the knife edge on Gretchen's neck. He calls out to Mephisto and says, "There would appear to me, I swear, the likeness to dear Gretchen there." And Mephisto responds with a casual, "Yeah, I know." And this nonchalant response from Mephisto results in a huge quarrel. Faust is making the case that you knew all along that this is how things were going to play out, and yet you didn't tell me. And Mephisto is like, "Come on, get real." Some of Mephisto's lines are funny in this back and forth. He's like, "Are you finished yet?" I think we may be able to ask ourselves, how come Faust is losing it? He's consumed by guilt, and Mephisto so relaxed. And I think the answer is because he's human. He's not divine nor demonic, not darkness or light, only human. And finally, there's this cry from Faust, "Save her!" And Mephisto says, "I'll get us there. Unlock the door, unbolt her chains, and even distract the gods. But we can only save her if she's willing to come out of her own free will, and convincing her is going to be up to you." And Faust is, "Come on, let's go. There is no time." And so the next we see Faust and Mephisto, they are riding on these flying magical horses, two black steeds. These magical horses, they can only fly at night. So they have to complete this mission before the tolling bell of first light. We'll leave it there, pick it up on the next video, the scene in the dungeon, which really pulls at your heartstrings. Yeah, a tune from Miles Davis or John Coltrane would have been a good outro to close this video off.